Hi, Sheldon. Hi. Welcome to the 10-Acre Woods. My name is Mark, and it is a beautiful day. A little windy, but it's sunny and beautiful out. So all the animals are out enjoying their grazing out in the open areas. And today I figured it's time for a spring farm tour. So I'm going to go over all the animals we have and show you what we have here. So up front in this area, here's Manya. Manya's pregnant, and her milk sac is starting to fill up. Tara thought for a minute there that she was a boy. Where are you going, Manya? She does have a limp, and that was mentioned in one of the other videos. So she came in as a rescue, and she was seized from a property. So we got her, and we're taking care of her, and she is pregnant. And of course, Carl. Carl, are you making me smell like you? And his little boy Billy. So Carl, we came in about 3 years ago I think it was, and he is just a beautiful little boy. He is not fixed, and neither is Billy, and that's why they're up here with the with Manya and away from the girls. Right now, people have asked, you know, I want to get a goat. What kind of, should I get a male? Should I get a female? Males are very well, if brought up in a large environment, if you box them into a small area, they just want to get out. And of course, you've probably heard stories of them climbing up on your car. But they have a large area up here. This is our driveway that goes down. This is where we store all of our hay back here. And it goes right up to the front and right around. So that's about it for these guys. So what I was getting at, I guess, if you want to get a goat, if you can have him fixed, but he's going to be smelly. If there's no girls around, then it's likely not an issue. He's not too bad during this time of year, but in breeding season, they do urinate on themselves and they can be stinky. But they are very friendly if they have attention, right, Carl? If you have them weathered, they won't urinate on themselves, and they're still pretty friendly. I find that male goats are a lot more interactive than female goats. All right, so that is the front section. Now, I have had some people ask, well, how much area do the animals have? It would be nice to get like an overhead picture. So I did a video, I think it was last summer, and it was a great little video I spent a little bit of time on, and did color coding and the years that the property was expanded, or the animal compound was expanded. So I'll cut to that as I walk back to the barn. So the first stage was, of course, the smaller area right in the front, moving out, expanding outwards, and then again outwards to around the pond. So then we decided, let's take some electrical wire and go back and extend it back out further in the back, I guess the southeast section. From there, we had some horses come in. So the horses came in, we had Storm, we had Joe, and then we decided we had to enclose the front area, or sorry, the back west area. So then we enclosed this area in here, and finally, when we got a couple other horses in that weren't getting along, we had to move them to the front section. So then, I think it was about 2 years ago, we did the front section. So now you can see from the picture that you know, we've got animals pretty much surrounding us. All right, so coming into, this is kind of an extension onto the barn. This actually used to be a living room area and an office for me when I was working from home a few years back. It's got a fireplace in here and everything. But what we use this for is our incubator used to be in here. It's kind of the brooder area. Now this cage here houses, there's nobody in here right now, just because it's still been a little bit cool, but we're probably going to move them out here soon. It's the chinchilla cage. So we'll see the chinchillas later on in the video. And we have some bunnies here. Hey, little guys. So these were some of the rabbits that we got in about a week and a half ago, I think it was. And we got a whole bunch, I think we got 15 rabbits. The males all go off-site to another farm that we work with, and the females stay here. So these little guys came in, they were, I guess they had some that went out and got free and were running around the yard, and of course mating and having all kinds of young. And she just couldn't catch them. And finally she did catch them. So that brings me to another point. Is some people ask us, well, you're an animal rescue and you're a hobby farm and you breed animals. Now those ones weren't bred here. We don't breed rabbits just because there's way too many rabbits out there that need homes and we don't want to add to that population. We do, however, breed goats. We actually have a waiting list for our goats because they are just so friendly. And of course chickens and ducks we also breed, guineas, and that's part of the petting farm or hobby farm portion of it. The animals that come in through rescue never get bred because that's just not something that is ethically good for a rescue or a petting farm. So there is kind of an area there which some people tend to not quite understand. So that, I hope that clarifies if you had any questions about that. So let's go in here to the barn area. So this is the interior section of the barn. We have all of our feed, our grains. So we do a lot of feeding with grains. These are oats in here. And this acts kind of as a shelving unit. And of course, where our feed is. So this here is lentils in there. Now let's turn on some lights here. This area here is our storage area. We do get feed that's, or feed or oats and wheat and barley. So all the grains we do get donated to us and we make our own feed. So a couple videos ago we showed you how we use this machine here to start processing our canola seed into a granular or a crushed seed because the animals can't process it unless the seed is cracked. Also, the what's the other one? The flax seed. That also needs to be cracked just because they can't process it. So here we go. Here we have some wheat. And this is all food grade stuff. It actually comes in from a lab that gets the material from farmers, and they do testing on it to ensure that it meets specifications. So all that extra feed that they didn't test, they then bag up and bring in. So it is actually food grade product. All right, so coming into this area here, this is where our incubator is. We haven't started it up yet. And this is Oscar. And I don't think Oscar is a grouch. He's actually pretty friendly. He came in last week through what's called Rural Animal Management Services, or RAMS. And he is the rural animal catchers. So Oscar here was found wandering around in a neighbor's yard. Not sure where the pig actually came from. And he came in, he was picked up by rams, and he came in here. So we'll hold him for 10 days in this isolation area. And if he is not claimed, then what will happen is we will look at either rehoming him or keeping him here. Hey bud, how you doing? Yeah. You want to make sure you don't do any sudden movements, and you want them to sniff you before going in for a pet on any animal. Of course, you don't want to go in, if you're going in on top, that can look overpowering. So you always kind of want to go in low. Now, if he doesn't get picked up, then, as I was saying, he'll get incorporated into our group, and then we may find a home for him. he does, or his owners do have the option of claiming him. So it'll be posted on their site. If they're looking for their pig, wondering where their pig is, then they can contact Rural Animal Management and have him picked up. So, hey bud, yeah. So most of them don't get picked up. We get quite a few roosters in. That's why we have so many roosters in the yard. And people just aren't willing to pay 60 or 80 or 100 bucks or whatever it is, depending on how many days that the animal's here, to get a rooster back. Unless they have some kind of serious bond with that particular rooster, they'll usually just, in some cases, not even realize that it's missing. All right, well, I'll let you sleep. That's what pigs do best, right? Sleep and root. Okay, so not a lot of animals are in the barn at this time. We have Oscar there, and we have, on this side of the pen, we have the chicken coop and the peafowl and pigeon coop over here. So these guys do have full access to outside, and we'll show you that outside pen in just a little bit. People ask us why we have pigeons. Not really sure why. We started off with fancy pigeons years ago, which very nice looking. And then we got these pigeons in as a replacement because we lost the other ones due to crows and hawks coming in. So they are in a contained area with the peafowl, which the peacock and peahens are outside, obviously, at this moment. And we lost some of the peafowl to predators. So they're the only ones that are fully caged in. And of course the chickens. We've got some of the chickens in here. Most of them are outside, and they have their hen nesting boxes over there. So we have a combination of a few different breeds in here. And it looks like we might have one in there sitting or just about to lay an egg. Doesn't look like there are eggs in here now. I think Tara may have already collected them. But they usually lay, we find, in the afternoon and then in the evening as well. In the morning we'll come out and find some eggs. Now this back area here is where we had our 3 mama goats, if you would watch the live stream. So this is currently not being used. We will bring them in the evening, and we will leave them out during the day. And this is just another pen in here. This is where our guineas were initially. We haven't cleaned that area up, so that will be the next area to clean. And it's just good to have different pens in here, especially for the winter time when you're bringing animals in. And also for roosters as well. Most of the roosters will stay out in this common area here or outside in one of our outbuildings. The rabbits were in here, so we'll see them outside in the rabbit hutch. So let's go outside and check them out. Here we are out in the yard. So lots to see out here, and I hear a hissing. We have a couple nesting. So this one here is sitting on some eggs. So we're not going to disturb her because we want to make sure that she sits. And we have another nest that's right down in here. And then on this side here, oh, look at that. We have a guinea egg right there. That spotted egg is actually a guinea fowl. Now, if you don't know what guineas are, you'll see them. Actually, that's not a cracked egg. It's just a piece of hay. You'll see the guineas. They are excellent for wood ticks. They're a little annoying. They're kind of ugly, but they're excellent for getting wood ticks. And this is one of 2 Hi and Guys. Here's one of them. They came in last year. They were a little too friendly for their young son's liking. Because they will come up to you, and they'll kind of peck at your shoes and stuff, and that can be a little off for a child. Barry is not hands-on, so he's just kind of goofy looking. Hey, Barry. And yes, Petey. So this is another potbelly that came in last year. You can actually get up and pet him, but if you have to do it slowly and carefully, and he's kind of grumpy at times. Where is Piper? Okay, Petey. Let's see. Okay, well, we'll find Piper in a minute, but here are the mama goats. So these are pygmy goats and their kids. This is Patches and her 2 young. Now, a lot of the kid goats are already spoken for, and they're going off to other hobby farms that are just starting up. This here is Lambert. Now, we're going to be shearing Lambert and Tinker and Turbo. We're going to be shearing their wool come mid-May, end of May, I guess right in that area. And then we're going to have a class on the shearing process, cleaning the wool, and then carding it, and then going to spin it on the wheel. So that'll be exciting. So we do different classes here. This is Blackie and her 2 little ones. Now, Blackie had 3, and if you were watching that live feed and following us, you will know that little Sheldon was the triplet, and he was the runt, and he wasn't doing very well at all. The vet gave him a 0% chance of survival. So we'll see Sheldon in a minute. That's a guinea right there. So we've got a bunch of guineas that just wander aimlessly around looking for those wood ticks. And there they go. It looks like the mamas and kids are heading out to the back area. There's 7 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, they got all their kids. And they're off to go out and do a little bit of grazing in the back. Here's Piper here. So this is Piper. She's a little bit more hands-on. They love these. This is the old material that came out of the barn. So the old hay and whatnot. So they dig through there, dig that all up, and find any morsels that may be in there. Usually in the spring, lots of grubs. So they get in there and get those grubs. And of course, Fernando, the world famous Fernando. Now, if I get down like this, he is going to come over and he's going to show me his tail, or he's just going to show me his tail. Hey, Fernando, what are you doing, buddy? So he goes off to a lot of the hobby farms that we do, a lot of like fairs and things of that nature. And he also goes, he has been requested at the old folks home. There's one old folks home in the city of Winnipeg that we take animals to, and they have requested that Fernando comes every time. And it's funny because they have automatic doors, and Fernando will then just walk up, and the outside automatic doors open, he walks in, and then you need a buzz to get into the other second automatic doors. So he actually bumps his chest up against it until people start screaming, "Oh, Fernando's here, Fernando's here!" And then they buzz him in, and he walks right in. So he's very friendly. All right, so we have Lucy here, and Lucy was a bottle baby 3-4 years ago, coming up now, and she also had a 0% chance of survival. She had what's called selenium deficiency, and what that means is her mother was ill, and her mother was a rescue when she came in. So her brother didn't make it, but she did, and she's been stunted, and she is actually unofficially the world's smallest goat at 28 centimeters tall. Hey, Lucy. All right, now the pond. We actually have a guy coming out who used to do ponds, and we've been pondering this for a while about lining our pond. So you can see there's really no water in here. We just didn't have a lot of snow this year, and it didn't fill up. We didn't get the runoff, so we are planning on lining it. There's a bubbler in there that is controlled by the fan. So the fan blows and pumps the air down into the pond. So these are the guineas that I was talking about. So they're not the prettiest thing, but they do their job well. And they also ward off predators. So we actually had a hawk. Tara was inside cleaning the barn, and we had a hawk that came out and sat up on one of these trees up here. And these guys just went berserk. So she came out and checked on, and sure enough, they were yelling at it was a hawk up in the tree. Okay, so, and the geese do a good job of that too. So geese here, these are 2 of 5, and these are Danish geese. I think one of them is, I think the one that's in here, yes. Oh yes, you're a Danish goose, aren't you? Danish geese, and then of course we covered Hi and Guys in there. They're guarding some eggs that are back in there. These are, those were the male Muscovies. This is a female Muscovy duck, so they need to be inside during the winter months when it's -10 below Celsius or below. And then there is a couple males, looks like in there. There's a cayuga duck on the right. See if we can get him. Not the best zoom there. He's sitting in the shadows. So that's Kai. He's a cayuga duck. And then some roosters. Here is Hunter, another Muscovy male. And then we have some Cerama roosters. So these are what we call the mini gods. So we have Atlas, Zeus, and Apollo. Oh, yes. So the roosters are good out here as long as there's no hens. There's not too much fighting. They still, you know, peck on each other. You know, who's top dog or top bird. Another female Muscovy here, the guineas. This is Henry. Oh, Henry. So he's been around here for a little while. Another male Muscovy and 2 female Muscovy ducks in here. I did mention this in one of the other videos a while back, but when they lie like that with their beak tucked into their feathers, they actually have one eye open. So half their brain is sleeping or resting, and the other half is awake. There's an example there. So she is keeping a lookout for predators, and that's why you just can't sneak up on a duck. Because they're always awake, or half their brain is, anyway. Okay, so this was the original rabbit hutch here. And this is the other section of the rabbit hutch. I must have missed the other bunny rabbits. Tara must have moved them on me, because I thought they were out here. So we'll have to search together. Oh, they're actually, yes, they are out. And their little door is blocked off there. Okay, so they are out here with the little Ceramas. Okay, now I see them. Let's go in. Hey, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Okay, here they are. So these are all female rabbits. And these are lion heads. Oh yes, I know, you're right there. Oh, and there's a wild rabbit outside. Are you guys conversing? Hey, excuse me. You're too little to be that aggressive. They tend to try to dominate us humans, and that can scare people as well. Okay. Okay, let's see. See what he's doing? I'm walking away, and he's like, I'm gonna get that guy as he's walking away. Because I'm in his territory now. Yeah, see, there we go. You are just too little, little boy. You're too little. So you pick him up, you hold him upside down. Oh, there we go. Now he's all docile. So now if I put him down, let's see what he does. Okay, are you done? You lost that round. Yeah, I know. So there is another lion head. And another one over there. And there's another wild rabbit. Look at these guys. That is just too funny. And the wild rabbits around here are very tame. So they don't mind at all. Okay, are you done? Let's see. Let me walk away. Yeah, no, he's not following. Okay. Say that's what you have to do. You just have to put them in their place. Oh, is he coming? No, no. I thought he was going to come after me again. Okay, next. So here is the outside pens. Of course, here's the chicken area with their door over there, and they have this full run over here. Now, what we do is we throw clippings in here. There's not a whole lot of grass out in this area, but we do throw vegetables in there, greens. They tend to dig up all the dirt. We have picked up an electric fence, a mobile electric fence, and we were playing with the idea of having a mobile coop. That didn't quite pan out right away. We may still revisit that. We had some challenges, and one of them is the property is a lot of trees. So we are the 10-acre woods and not the 10-acre field or 10-acre grazing pasture. So we run into some of our, some challenges. Pigeons. And there's a peahen over there. And another peahen over in the shadows. Where is Prince? Prince is the peacock. He must have gone in. Yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can find him here. Okay. There we go. There's his tail hanging down. All right, well, I guess he went in while I was coming out. All right, so everybody's enjoying the weather. All the pigeons out here hanging out. We haven't had any luck with the peafowl and their eggs. We had one hatch out 2 years ago, and last year, if you were following, we actually had a chicken hen, sit on the eggs and hatch them out. All right, so I think that is it for out in this area. The last thing that I just wanted to mention is this area here, we're going to expand this building out across to here and have it kind of an open type shelter. Tara removed all the wood boards. Oh, here's another rooster. What is your problem, buddy? What is your problem? Oh, they got such big egos, these roosters. So yeah, there were boards just like this over here. So what we're planning on doing in building this, these ones are then going to be built onto a frame, and that whole piece is going to flip up on the end. So right along the whole outside here and along the other side, it'll be able to open up with all those openings. And for the summer months. Whoa! Here we go! That wind. All right, let's go into the house. I think that's everybody out here. How are you doing? Yeah, you're not alpha, are you? Actually, before we go into the house, I'll just, oh, am I going to be able to see it here? Here's Prince here. So he's roosting. Yeah, no, he's gone. Okay. Well, that wasn't much, but they lose their feathers, just like chickens do, but their tail feathers, you know, it's more pronounced because, of course, they look more like a female with the exception of the blue coloring. So it's an Indian blue peacock, peafowl. They'll lose their tail feathers annually, so in the fall, when it's coming into the winter season, they'll slowly lose them and then grow them back over the winter. And now that it's spring, he's ready for mating season. Show off all of his pretty colors. All right, now let's go into the house. So I was just heading into the house and we were expecting somebody and I didn't realize that they were here so soon. Titan Environmental. So we had put out there on social media that we were looking to line our pond, to finish that off, and something we've been looking at for years. So a couple guys showed up from Titan Environmental. They want to do something for our farm and help us out. So we did a walkthrough and we got a lot of good ideas, and he's going to now head back and talk to some of the other guys and then come up with a plan. So that's pretty exciting. Tara was very excited about that. basically all day today because she knew that was happening. But one other thing that I forgot is Sheldon. So I forgot to show you Sheldon. He is not inside. He is actually outside during the day. So Sheldon, there's a train going by, all this noise. Sheldon was Blackie's third, and he wasn't doing so well. And what had happened was we were in, Patches hadn't given birth yet. And Patches was in labor, and she was checking out all the other kids. And we figured, well, let's try to, let's separate everybody from Patches and put Sheldon, the runt, in there and see how she reacts. And she took care of him and she cleaned him up. And it was quite cute. So Tara spent, I don't know, probably an hour or two out there with Patches and with Sheldon. And then soon after that, we took Sheldon inside. So, where is Sheldon? Sheldon! Sheldon! Here's the guineas. Oh, here he is. Sheldon! Sheldon! What are you doing, buddy? Did you just eat? Come here. Are you just soaking it up? Oh, yeah. How you doing, Sheldon? Hi. What are you doing? Hi. Oh, boy. I guess he's all tired. Earlier, we had a session of goat yoga, and he was actually up and running around, so it was pretty exciting. Hey, and he's not doing, if you've been watching, it was the head bob, head tilt that he had. He's actually not doing that much now. Okay, come on, man. Show everybody. Hey, show everybody. Yes. So he drank out of his bottle just a little while ago, and I guess he's full. So it's time for him to relax in the sun. Hey, buddy? Yes. So he'll go inside a little bit later on when it starts to cool off, but we want him to be outside as much as possible, just because he's getting his exercise and he's starting to graze on the grass. Hey, bud? Yes. Are you full? Are you full? Okay, now let's go inside. All right, see you later, buddy. And here we are inside. So our inside animals are Maggie. Yeah, that's you. Maggie is a female West Highland White Terrier. She has had a couple, she's had a couple litters in the past, but no longer. And of course Toby, that's who's making, he loves his squeaky ball. And somebody that just sat on my lap is Atlas, or on my foot. He tends to enjoy sitting on feet, don't you, buddy? So, and this is Atlas. Okay, where are you going, Maggie? Are you checking on the little kittens? How are the kittens? Show me the kittens. Come on, let's go. Let's go, show me. Oh, yes. Oh, and Nix is in there, too. I forgot about Nix. So Nix is, she was a rescue last year that we decided to keep. And these are the kittens that came in. So the first day she started hissing at them, but now she actually goes in and cleans them. Nix is not even a year old yet. And we decided to keep her. She was found and brought to us. And just like these guys, oh yeah, so wake you guys up. Oh, wake you guys up. Hey? These ones here were actually found, the mother was hit by a car. And they're very young, they're only about 3 weeks old. So we've been taking care of them. And we posted on Facebook to find good homes for them. And we actually did find good homes for these 4. So instead of taking the animals and taking them into the Humane Society or taking them and putting more cats into their hands, we thought, well, let's try ourselves and let's see if we can find these cute little things some homes and not have to rely on the other on the other shelters. So these are the kittens. They're not very active right now. And we'll go check out the last one, which is downstairs. So I already told you about the chinchillas. So the chinchillas are downstairs, and they are going to be moved outside into that pen, or into that cage out in the main building there. So for the winter time, they are in here. Check their food and water. They have water and they have food, but it looks like there's a little bit of hay in the food. Where are you guys? So this is, oh yeah, you're in there. So this is Willow and Francisco. Francisco's in the back, and Francisco's little little boy. Oh, there's Francisco. So they originally had 3. So if you remember, about a month and a half ago, Willow had 3 young. And unfortunately, what's strange with Willow is she has always had boys, or she's already kept boys. The females that she's had have died mysteriously. So we're wondering if it's got something to do with she's not feeding them, she's not taking care of them because they are female, and she is threatened by them. I'm not really sure, but it seems very odd that we've only lost the females. Now, these chinchillas we did fostering a few years ago. So we were fostering, and one of our foster children, those were her chinchillas. So we thought, well, we'll hang on to them until you move out and you find a place of your own, and then you can take them. But I don't think she wants them. So we've kind of ended up with the chinchillas. And that's it. I didn't forget anybody. I'm pretty sure I didn't forget anybody. But if you have any questions about any of the animals here, I know this is a fairly long video, but I wanted to make sure I got everybody. I sometimes leave out the chinchillas because they are down here in the basement. And then, of course, our animals. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next video. Take care. Bye-bye.